DARPA chief and President Baker. So now the terrorists know both detonation codes.
Yeah, and on top of that, they both died right in front of my eyes.
Snake, now that the terrorists have both detonation codes, the only way to stop a nuclear launch is to either use the detonation code release keys that Meryl's holding, or
find the Metal Gear chief engineer that President Baker mentioned, Hal Emmerich.
In any case, you should contact Meryl by codec. Wasn't her frequency written on the back of the CD case? In any case, you should contact Meryl by codec. Wasn't her frequency written on the back of the CD case?
First, the DARPA chief, and then President Baker die of a heart attack?
Yeah, smells pretty rotten to me. Master, do you know anything?
No, but there's definitely something going on. Keep your eyes open out there. People who have been through war and survived develop a kind of sixth sense to warn them of danger. Trust your instincts as a soldier, as a gamer.
It is just like Baker said. We are facing increasing danger from stored nuclear materials. You see, there are three elements necessary in the manufacture of nuclear weapons: nuclear materials, nuclear engineers, and manufacturing technology. All three of them can easily be acquired by either legal or illegal means, if you have enough money, that is. They say that there are 500,000 nuclear engineers in the world. But after the end of the Cold War, the demand for nuclear engineers dropped precipitously. In the Eastern Bloc countries in particular, there is a tremendous brain drain. They cannot keep their scientists in the country. And each year, more and more nuclear engineers go to work for the highest bidder. Just like Baker said, each year, there are more and more cases of MUF coming from the nuclear material storage facilities. That stands for material unaccounted for. It means that someone is stealing nuclear materials and probably selling them on the black market. After the fall of the Soviet Union, the nuclear management program fell to pieces. In the late 1990s, there were rumors that nearly 100 suitcase-sized nuclear bombs mysteriously disappeared from the Soviet arsenal. We still do not know whether it is true or not, but it is possible that they fell into the hands of terrorists. It looks like the DARPA chief and the arms tech president both agree on the concept of maintaining a dominant nuclear arsenal. They are big on the nuclear deterrent theory. The idea behind a nuclear standoff is that both countries would be too afraid to use a nuclear weapon for fear of a nuclear reprisal. In other words, the only thing preventing a country from totally devastating another country with nuclear weapons is the fear of a nuclear counterstrike. Those two probably feel that Metal Gear will further promote that security. The right-wingers believe that as long as any country has nuclear weapons, they must have them as well. That is why they will never be in favor of the total elimination of nuclear weapons. And with each new country that acquires nuclear capabilities, the need for maintaining the counterstrike threat increases. As long as the nuclear deterrent policy continues, we will never be rid of nuclear weapons. The theory of nuclear deterrence was born during the Cold War, at a time of great suspicion between the US and the USSR. The great gulf between the ideologies of East and West caused a dramatic escalation in the arms race. And this escalation of the arms race in turn fueled mutual distrust and fear between the world's two great superpowers. The last half of the 20th century was shaped by the policy of nuclear deterrence. But the world has changed. The Cold War has ended, and we are now living in a world where small regional conflicts are breaking out all over. Things are not so simple anymore. and the policy of nuclear deterrence is obsolete. Most of these regional conflicts are the result of age-old enmities between different ethnic groups and religions. In those cases, the hatred often runs so deep that rationality is thrown out the window. For people such as them, the fear of a counterstrike often means lethal, and that is why the nuclear deterrence policy has lost much of its efficacy. A nuclear standoff is not a sufficient deterrent in the current world climate. It looks like the DARPA chief and the arms tech president.
Snake, you can't use your radar in that area. There's some kind of electronic jamming coming from there. I wonder what it is. Anyway, be careful. Be careful, Snake.
Who are you?
I was really impressed with the way you busted yourself out of there.
The one from the prison?
You're the Colonel's niece, Meryl, right?
No, it's not him. Just exactly who are you?
I'm the fool that your uncle sent all alone into the middle of this whole mess.
You came by yourself? You think you're some kind of one-man army?
I don't need lectures. You're just like your uncle, you know?
How do you know my uncle?
We go way back.
What's your name?
My name's not important.
Aha. Could you be Snake? Are you Solid Snake?
That's what some people call me.
The legendary Solid Snake? You? Sorry about before. I wasn't sure if you were one of the good guys.
But I knew you were.
How?
It's your eyes.
My eyes?
They're not soldiers' eyes.
And they're rookies' eyes, right?
No, they're beautiful, compassionate eyes.
Oh, just what I'd expect from the legendary Solid Snake. You trying to sweep me off my feet?
Don't worry, you'll land back on them once you meet me. The reality is no match for the legend, I'm afraid.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Why did you look so surprised when you saw my face?
Because you look just like him.
You mean the terrorist leader, Liquid Snake?
Yeah, you know him? You're not brothers, are you?
I have no family.
So what's the deal then?
Who knows? Why don't you ask him? But first I want some information. You were involved in this exercise from the beginning. What exactly happened here?
I'm sorry. I was captured along with President Baker right after the terrorist attack.
That's okay. But what is this place? I don't think it's just a nuclear weapons disposal facility.
Boy, oh boy, it's just like them. Nobody told you anything, did they? Okay, you see, this place isn't really for disposing nuclear weapons. This base is owned and operated by a dummy corporation of arms tech.
This is a civilian base?
Right, for the development of Metal Gear.
Colonel.
FOXHOUND and the Next Generation Special Forces were called here for the test launching of a dummy nuclear warhead.
Why FOXHOUND?
Because they're a special ops group used to handling top secret missions. They figured they could help keep it all hush-hush.
But we must have fired nuclear warheads before. Why just this time?
I heard it was because this was to be a final test before the formal adoption of the Metal Gear program. Well, that's what I heard anyway.
Sounds kind of fishy. So what do you think the terrorists want?
Sorry. I'm not sure. I was captured with President Baker right after the revolt started.
Oh yeah, that's when he gave you the detonation code override keys, right?
That's right.
Amazing you were able to keep them hidden from the guards.
Well, women have more hiding places than men. Anyway, you met Baker, huh? How's he holding up?
He's dead.
What?
Heart attack. Same as the DARPA chief.
The chief died from a heart attack too?
Yeah. Was either of them sick or anything?
No, not that I heard of.
Well, I don't believe in coincidences. Something funny's going on.
Sounds like it, but I have no idea what.
Me neither. Yet. Do you know the person who designed Metal Gear?
You mean Dr. Emmerich?
Yes. Is he still alive?
Probably. He should be in the research lab in the second floor basement of the nuclear warhead storage building to the north.
Second floor basement.
Yeah, that's where his lab is. I think they're forcing him to work on the nuclear launching program.
So they'll need him alive until that's done anyway.
Then we better do something before he finishes.
You're right. In case we can't override the detonation code in time, I need to ask him how to destroy Metal Gear.
You plan to take that thing on by yourself, Snake?
It won't be the first time.
Ah.
What's the best way to get to the building where the doctor's being held?
There's a cargo door on the first floor of this building that leads to the north.
What's the security level of the door there?
5. But it's okay. I've got a level 5 card.
Well, I've got to go save the doctor. You should go.
I'm going with you.
No way. You're still too green. I want you to hide somewhere.
I'm not green.
Oh, yes, you are. You pause for just 1 second in front of your enemy and it's all over. Good luck doesn't last forever.
I don't know what happened. I just couldn't pull the trigger right away. I never had any problems in training, but when I thought about my bullets tearing through those soldiers' bodies, I hesitated.
Shooting at targets and shooting at living, breathing people are different.
Ever since I was a little girl, I always dreamed about being a soldier. Every day of my life, I've trained my mind and body for the one day when I could finally see some real action, and now...
So what now? You want to quit?
I can't quit. I can't allow myself to quit now.
Listen, Meryl. Everybody feels sick the first time they kill someone. Unfortunately, killing is one of those things that gets easier the more you do it. In a war, all of mankind's worst emotions, worst traits come out. It's easy to forget what a sin is in the middle of a battlefield.
But this isn't a war. It's a terrorist action.
You're just a little jumpy from the combat high. The adrenaline in your bloodstream is starting to thin out. Just take it easy.
But I learned all about combat high at the academy.
We'll talk about it later. For now, just think about keeping yourself alive.
If I get out of here alive, I'll think about that other stuff.
Okay, let me try to say this another way. Stay the hell out of my way.
You're a real bastard, just like my uncle said.
Huh, I told you, the real me is no match for the legend.
It looks like you were right. Okay, Snake. I'll be a good girl.
We'll link up after I grab the doctor. Then we'll take care of the detonation code override.
Gotcha. But listen, I know this area better than you. Call me if you have any questions.
Be careful, okay?
After I open up the cargo door, I'll contact you. Snake, don't be so impatient. Settle down. I need a little more time to get the cargo door open. I'll call you when I get the door open. Just wait a little, okay?
Don't worry, Colonel. Meryl is fine.
Thank God.
Meryl is a very strong woman. I really respect her.
She's got plenty of heart.
Thanks, Snake.
Not so fast. The real mission is still ahead.
Rescuing that Metal Gear engineer is now your primary goal. When Meryl opens up the cargo door, I want you to head north. Rescuing that Metal Gear engineer...
In war, a split second can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Don't ever hesitate. The slower you react, the greater the chance that you'll be beaten.
Just like Baker said, each year...
What can I do for you, Snake? Snake, in China they say, you must cross the river before you tell the crocodile he has bad bread. Do you know what that means? It means that the wise man avoids danger first. Use your brain to avoid traps and stay away from the enemy.
It looks like the place is protected by infrared sensors. Somehow you'll have to make it past the beams. It looks like the place is protected by infrared...
That inner voice that warns you when danger is nearby. You can't learn that in training. You've got to have survived a few firefights, seen a few friends blown away, before you learn that trick.
Snake, that room is set with infrared sensors. You should be able to see them if you had some smoke, cigarette smoke or something.
Sorry, but these are smokeless cigarettes.
You mean those cigarettes that are designed to cut down on secondhand smoke? Oh, well, don't worry. If you blow the smoke in the direction of the infrared sensors, you should be able to see them. That was a good idea, bringing the cigarettes, but don't smoke too much. Cigarettes make you weak in mind and body. They are bad for you. Snake, that room is set with infrared sensors. That is a FAMAS. It is a bullpup-style assault rifle. It is durable and easy to use. Very resistant to overheating. It is a reliable weapon with smooth action. It can fire up to 1,000 rounds per minute. On full auto, you will empty a 25-round magazine in a few seconds.
Snake, I unlocked the cargo door for you.
Thanks. Where are you?
Where I can see ya.
Don't move around too much.
Don't worry, I'm disguised in this enemy uniform.
You won't be for long with the way you walk.
What does that mean?
Nothing.
Listen, Snake, the cargo door is like an airlock. It's equipped with infrared sensors. Be careful. If an intruder is sensed, gas is released.
Gas?
Okay, so we'll meet at the nuclear warhead storage building.
Wait, you said you'd stay put and be a good girl.
I changed my mind.
Don't get careless. That's when things always turn sour.
Sorry, but this is the only way I can figure out whether or not I'm cut out to be a soldier. I gotta get my hands dirty.
These guys are professionals. You're gonna get yourself killed.
See you there.
Meryl contacted you, didn't she? Go through the cargo door in the north part of the hangar. Head for the warhead storage building. Meryl contacted you, didn't she?
Snake, you've got to think. Your mind is your most dangerous weapon. If things are getting too complicated, try to simplify your thoughts. You can also try calling Campbell for advice.
The cargo door is open already. If you exit there and go north, you'll get to the warhead storage building where Dr. Emmerich is being held. I'll head there now and wait for you. Hurry after me, okay?
The warheads are supposed to be dismantled at Pantex or some other dismantling facility.
What is it, Snake? How's it going, Snake? Have you gotten used to using the radar yet?
Yeah, it's a great system. Not only can I read the topography, but I can monitor the movement of the bad guys, too.
Pretty convenient, huh? It also makes it easy for us to see everything that you're doing.
You're watching everything?
Of course. If you were my boyfriend, you'd never be able to cheat on me.
Being monitored 24 hours a day, that'd be like hell.
Don't think of it like that. At least you'd never get lost.
What have you got there? A cardboard box?
Yeah, remember that trick?
That's the Snake I remember. Those poor fools won't know what hit them.
A cardboard box, huh? Just like Zanzibar.
It saved my skin more than a few times in outer heaven, too.
Getting the maximum use out of ordinary on-hand objects is the first principle of survival. It's especially important in covert operations.
I haven't forgotten what you taught me.
A cardboard box? I heard stories from my uncle, but I always thought he was pulling my leg. I've got no comment.
A cardboard box. A cardboard box usually consists of a thin pasteboard with a corrugated paper center. They are usually made of recycled paper. It was first invented in Europe over 100 years ago. It was originally used to absorb one's sweat when wearing hats. With the same amount of wood to make one wooden box, you can make 6 or 7 cardboard boxes. And since it's recyclable, it's highly economical. In addition, it's strong and easy to store. That's why it's widely used for packing. But to avoid damaging weapons and other delicate instruments when shipping them, they should be packed in stronger boxes like wood or something. Also, the crevices should be filled with styrofoam to prevent them from moving around. So, anyway, what's with the box?
Oh, nothing. No big deal.
You called Snake? Snake, have you ever heard the saying, friendly counsel cuts off many foes? It means that a little bit of advice from friends can save you a lot of trouble. You should think about it. If you're in trouble or if you need some information about something, please contact Colonel Campbell or someone else, okay?
Just a box.
Be careful, Snake. That airlock is set with infrared sensors. You probably can't see them with your naked eyes, but there are infrared beams coming out of that wall. Touch any one of them and the doors will seal off and the place will be flooded with poison gas. Somehow you've got to get through without setting off those sensors.
Good. You found a suppressor for the SOCOM pistol. If you equip that, you won't have to worry about being noticed by the enemy when you fire. It will greatly reduce the sound and flash from your muzzle. It uses a multi-layered chamber to lower the velocity of the gas emissions, and thus reduce the sound and flash when you fire your weapon. The suppressor is narrow enough so that you can still use the gun's original sight even when it is equipped. It shouldn't change the feel when you fire it.
Snake, be careful. There are Claymore mines around there. Use a mine detector.
Who are you?
Just call me Deep Throat.
Deep Throat? The informant from the Watergate scandal?
Never mind about that.
You're not using burst transmission. Are you nearby?
Listen, there's a tank in front of your position waiting to ambush you.
Who are you anyway?
One of your fans.
Colonel, I got a codec call from someone outside this operation.
I know. We were monitoring the call. Mei Ling knows everything about the communication system, so let me have her explain it to you.
Well, if somebody knows your frequency, they can call you. But the question is, how did he learn it? It's top secret information.
So you mean someone leaked the information?
That's the only explanation I can think of.
Mei Ling, do you know where that transmission originated from?
I'm sorry. The radio waves were too weak to locate their source, but I'm sure he's near you, somewhere on the base.
Snake, you'll have to go through the minefield to advance. A minefield, huh? Don't forget to use your mine detector. When you find out where a mine is, crawl forward and try to recover it. A minefield, huh?
Master, does the name Deep Throat mean anything to you?
Deep Throat? What? You mean the guy from Watergate?
No, but he uses the same name. Whoever he is, he's not part of our operation, but he's been giving me advice by codec.
What?
On top of that, he wasn't using burst transmission. It seems he was transmitting from somewhere on this base.
Somewhere on the base?
Yes.
I have no idea who that could be.
I see.
Sound travels better in cold environments. If you're going to use a handgun, you should equip a suppressor.
The place is mined? Well, if you use a mine detector, you'll be able to see the mines displayed on your radar. The place is mined?
That area is mined? After you locate the mines on your radar, crawl forward and retrieve them. Anti-personnel mines have killed over 20,000 non-combatants in the past 30 years. In countries like Cambodia and Nicaragua, the killing and maiming of innocent victims continues long after the wars have ended. It is easy to plant mines, you see, but removing them is a different matter. It requires more time and manpower than anyone is willing to invest. The superpowers need to donate more mine detectors and other equipment to remove them. It is the least we could do after laying them. After you locate the mine...
What is it, Snake? In my parents' homeland, they say, if there are more wolves, the people are eaten. If there are more people, the wolves are eaten. That means the side with the greater numbers is usually the winner. You're badly outnumbered, Snake. Try not to let them see you.
After you locate the mine... After you locate the mine...
This is Raven's territory. snakes don't belong in Alaska. I will not let you pass. Send him a message. That's right, you belong on the ground. You should crawl on the ground like the snake you are. Come, let's fight.
Snake, look out for that tank's main gun. It'll pulverize you. There should be some way. Ask Nastasha. She knows everything there is to know about weapon systems. Snake, look out for that tank's main gun. It'll pulverize you.
I think you might be able to fool the tank's electronic systems with a chaff grenade. No matter how good you are, there's no way you can match up against an M1 tank. All you can do is try to take out the person in the driver's seat. With grenades, you should be able to attack the soldier on top of the tank, too. I think you might be able to fool the tank's
That M1 tank is equipped with advanced Victronics. Once it locks onto a target, it automatically tracks it, and its main gun is effective up to 3,000 meters. To get close, you'll have to confuse its tracking system. Use your chaff. If you can jam the system and get close enough, it won't be able to use its main gun. Use your chaff at a long distance to fool its electronic systems. Even if you can get close, the M1 tank's maximum speed is 45 miles per hour. First, you'll have to slow it down. Go after its caterpillars with C4 or grenades. Once it slows down, toss a grenade in the commander's turret. The M1 has exceptionally strong armor. With your weapons, the only way to beat it is to attack the soldiers inside through the hatch. Try to aim at the upper hatch with your grenades. Use your chaff at a long distance to fool its electronic systems. Try to aim at the upper hatch with your grenades.
Is everything all right, Snake? Do it for me, Snake.
Yes, I hope you are happy. He got the card.
We'll play with him a little longer.
You would be wise not to underestimate him.
What did you think of him?
He is just as you said. In battle, he is as if possessed by a demon. Much like you, I would expect no less.
See? I told you so. But I will kill him.
So, General Ivan, I hear he took your hand as well as your dignity.
Watch your tongue, shaman.
In the language of the Sioux people, Sioux means snake. It is known as an animal to be feared.
Well, Snake is mine now. When I meet him next, I'll take special care of him.
Not yet. Don't kill him yet.
He and I will meet again in battle.
Same prediction as always.
Yes, the raven on my head. It thirsts for his blood.
Snake, you've got to rescue Dr. Emmerich, the Metal Gear engineer.
He's probably being held prisoner in the second floor basement of the Warhead Storage Building.
Snake, you've got to rescue Dr.
When you're trying to hide, avoid places that look like the enemy might search. Think about how your enemy is going to move, and then sneak in there. It doesn't matter how smart you are, just use your head out there. Snake, divide and conquer. Try to take your enemies on one at a time.
You're incredible, Snake. You single-handedly beat an M1 tank.
No big deal. But I'll bet that VR simulator you trained on didn't have any scenarios that put you one-on-one against a tank, did it?
No, but there was no scenario where I had to work alone with a Special Forces soldier against a group of terrorists either.
In real life, things never go the way you expect them to, especially on a battlefield.
I'm already holed up in the Warhead Storage Building. It looks like Dr. Emmerich is still fine, but I'm not sure for how much longer. Hurry up this way, okay? Dr. Emmerich should be in the laboratory area in the second floor basement.
They say that there are 500,000 nuclear engineers in the world.
What is it, Snake? Snake, like Confucius said, the cautious seldom err. If you proceed cautiously, you probably won't make a big mistake. Snake, even after you get used to the mission, don't lose your concentration.
Be careful. You absolutely must not use weapons in that area.
I've already programmed the nanomachine so that he won't be able to, Colonel.
What? What are you talking about?
Have you forgotten? That's where they keep the nuclear warheads. Can't you see them?
Yeah, there's lots of boxes piled up here, but are they all warheads?
Yes, they're all dismantled warheads.
They just leave them here? It's like President Baker said, totally careless.
They're working on a limited budget. They try to put on a pretty face for the media, but this is the grim reality of it. Nastasha knows lots more about it than I do.
All of the warheads in those boxes have had their detonation mechanisms removed, so there's no fear of them exploding. But if the warheads are broken, they might leak plutonium, and that would be a serious problem.
Snake, never use your weapon on that floor. Snake, you've got to rescue Dr. Emmerich, the Metal Gear engineer.
He's probably being held prisoner in the second-floor basement of the warhead storage building.
Snake, never use your weapon on that floor.
People who have been through war and survived.
Dr. Emmerich should be in the laboratory area in the second-floor basement. Heavy arms fire in that area is strictly prohibited. An explosion could cause nuclear material to leak from one or more of the warheads, and that would be a very serious problem. Please be careful.
It looks like they're equipped with gas masks.
That's because they're not supposed to use heavy arms.
You mean they use chemical weapons instead?
Snake, that is a nuclear warhead storage area.
Are all these filled with nuclear warheads?
Yes, but their detonation mechanisms have been removed.
So I don't have to worry about this island turning into a pile of smoking rubble.
No, but if the casing is damaged, they may be leaking nuclear materials. Please, make sure you do not use your gun around there. Naturally, nuclear weapons contain plutonium. Most of the radiation emitted by plutonium isotopes consists of alpha rays. The ionization effects are strong, but if they are kept in containers, there is no danger of exposure. But if plutonium enters the body through breathing or other contact, it is quickly absorbed into the bones and internal organs. After that, there is no way to remove it. Once that happens, the victim will be constantly exposed to it, and just one millionth of a gram of plutonium can cause cancer. That is why a plutonium leak is such a serious danger. Make sure you do not use your gun anywhere near there. Scientists are currently using gene therapy to try and create a microorganism capable of breaking down plutonium, but they have not yet had any success.
The plutonium version of bioremediation, huh? Instead of processing, what about reusing it? I thought that they were working on using dismantled plutonium for civilian applications.
For a time, it looked like there was going to be international cooperation for that. But unfortunately, there was too much mutual suspicion and it all fell apart. The signing of START was a step in the right direction, but it created a flood of dismantled plutonium. Disposing of that plutonium safely is now the biggest challenge facing the world. Combustion in nuclear reactors, vitrification processing, lots of suggestions have been made, but in reality, no effective solutions have been found. Naturally, nuclear weapons contain...
What's up, Snake? Snake, listen to what Lo Ji said. He who knows that enough is enough will always have enough. Just because you see an item doesn't mean that you always have to get it. If you don't really need it, think twice before you stick your neck out. It might not be worth it.
Snake, watch out. That place is filled with gas. Also, the floor is electrified. First, destroy the high voltage switch. It's the switchboard on the northwest wall.
But how? I can't reach it.
Use a remote-controlled missile.
For the time being, let's trust what Deep Throat told us. Use a remote-controlled missile to destroy the switchboard in the northwest section of the Warhead Storage Building's second-floor basement. Make sure your remote-controlled missile doesn't get shot down by those gun cameras. For the time being, let's...
Soldiers that have been forged in the fires of battle are used to catching naps whenever and wherever they can. There's a big difference between real soldiers and those kids who have only been trained in VR simulators. After playing for a long time, you should get some rest too.
Deep Throat? No, I don't know anyone who calls himself that.
I see.
I wonder why he's trying to help you.
I have no idea.
A trap?
Could be, but for the time being, I'll have to trust him. Where are the remote-controlled missiles?
I think the remote-controlled missiles are on the first-floor basement of the Warhead Storage Building. I think the remote-controlled missiles are on the first-floor basement of the Warhead Storage Building.
It looks like the DARPA chief and...
What is it, Snake? Have you ever heard this one? Confucius said it.
Enough proverbs for now. I want to hear about you.
The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means I hardly know you, Snake. It wouldn't be right to start telling you all about my personal life.
Okay, but I'm not giving up.
For the time being,
People who have been through war...
Those are claymore mines. Unlike other mines, which are planted underground, claymores are set up above ground and are designed to produce maximum damage in a wide fan-shaped area. When they go off, they spray 700 1.2 millimeter steel pellets in a 60-degree pattern, much like an oversized shotgun. Traditionally, claymores use a tripwire to set them off, but those claymores are a new type. They are camouflaged using the new stealth technology and are equipped with sophisticated motion detectors. Those are remote-controlled miniature reconnaissance missiles, sometimes called Nikita missiles. They've got CCD cameras in their nose cones. After you fire them, they'll transmit their visual data to your monitor. You can control their flight freely in all directions. But the missiles have a limited amount of fuel. Watch the gauge carefully. Press the first-person view button to see the missile's visual data. Use them wisely. Over 200 tons of plutonium and over 1,000 tons of high-grade uranium have been removed from nuclear weapons so far. And on top of that, nuclear reactors all over the world continue to produce and leak spent nuclear fuel. According to one estimate, as of the year 2005, America alone was storing over 50,000 tons of nuclear material. There is no room left in our nuclear material storage sites. That is why we need nuclear weapon disposal facilities. Over 200...
Dr. Emmerich is probably being held in his lab in the northeast part of that floor. They flooded the area with gas to prevent him from escaping. But there should be a gas mask on that floor too. If you use it, you'll be able to make it through easily. Dr. Emmerich is...
Where I come from, a soldier who loses his head in combat is called a target.
You did it! You destroyed the switchboard. The electrical current running through the floor should be off now. You've got to rescue Dr. Emmerich and find out Metal Gear's weak point.
Isn't he being held in the laboratory in the northeast part of the floor you're on?
What is it, Snake? Snake, like Confucius said, the cautious seldom err. If you proceed cautiously, you probably won't make a big mistake. Snake, even after you get used to the mission, don't lose your concentration.
You got a gas mask. Good. That is a double eyepiece type. Be careful. Unlike the transparent shield type, it will restrict your field of vision. It is equipped with a voice emitter, so do not worry about not being heard. The outside is made of reinforced plastic, and the inside is made from an acetate weave. Also, the eyepieces are specially treated, so they won't fog up. You will be able to stay in a gas-filled area for a long time with that mask. Use it wisely.
You've got to rescue Dr. Emmerich and find out Metal Gear's weak point.
Isn't he being held in the laboratory in the northeast part of the floor you're on?
Meryl, what are these holes in the wall for?
That's an air cleaner for blowing tiny particles of dust off people's bodies before they enter the lab. That's an air cleaner for blowing tiny particles of dust off people's bodies before they enter the lab.
Looks like they were cut by some type of blade.
It's a ghost.
What's this pile of corpses? It looks like they were all slashed by some kind of sword.
Couldn't be.
What?
Nothing.
Snake, I'm worried about Emmerich. Hurry up and get to him.
It's also important to be able to control your bodily functions. You never know when a long demo is about to begin. So make sure you're prepared to sit in front of the monitor for a long time if necessary.
Meryl, this pile of corpses, is this your handiwork?
No way.
I didn't think so.
Who could have done that?
You got me, but he must be somewhere up ahead.
Then I guess you'll just have to go and find out.
The warheads are supposed...
The ninja.
What?
That stealth camouflage. It's him. It must be.
Snake, Emmerich's in danger. Hurry and go after him.
Military C rations place an emphasis on calories. That's why it's best to use them along with some other type of nutritional supplement, such as vitamins or minerals.
Hurry! Dr. Emmerich is in danger.
Stealth camouflage? Who are you?
Where is my friend?
What are you talking about? Oh, what next?
Snake.
You're that ninja.
I've been waiting for you, Snake.
Who are you?
Neither enemy nor friend. I am back from a world where such words are meaningless. I've removed all obstacles. Now you and I will battle to the death.
What do you want?
I've waited a long time for this day. Now I want to enjoy the moment.
What's with these guys? It's like one of my Japanese animes.
I've come from another world to do battle with you.
What is it, revenge?
It is nothing so trivial as revenge. A fight to the death with you. Only in that can my soul find respite. I will kill you, or you will kill me. It makes no difference. Fine. He can watch from inside there.
I need that man. Keep your hands off him.
Now, make me feel it. Make me feel alive again.
If you have a question about members of Foxhound, you should ask Naomi.
I'm sorry, but there's no one in Foxhound like that. There are currently only 6 members of Foxhound. Psycho Mantis, Sniper Wolf, Vulcan Raven, Decoy Octopus, Revolver Ocelot, and finally Liquid Snake. The genome soldiers under his command are next-generation special forces. Foxhound is intended to be a small number of highly elite, hand-picked soldiers.
You're talking about the current Foxhound, right?
Yes.
Snake, who or what is that thing? Is he an enemy or not?
That's what I'd like to know. Naomi, you really don't have any idea?
Maybe I should ask you the same thing.
What?
Nothing. Forget about it.
Snake, he's obviously trying to provoke you. Snake, he's obviously trying to provoke you.
He's just playing with you. Why don't you try throwing away your weapons? He's just playing with you. Why don't you try throwing away your weapons?
Ninja? I've never heard of any member of Foxhound like that. But you're gonna have to do something about him if you want to save Dr. Emmerich. Ninja? Look at him move. He must have some kind of powered exoskeleton.
Powered exoskeleton? You mean like prosthetic arms and legs?
No, prosthetics are intended to replace original body parts. That ninja's exoskeleton makes him far stronger than any normal human. He is a true cyborg, a cybernetic organism.
So he's half machine, huh?
I heard rumors about the experiments, but I had no idea that such a creature really existed.
Look at him move.
He must have some kind of powered exoskeleton.
Snake, you can't use your radar. It's confused by all of the radio interference. That ninja is giving off some kind of electrical energy. Win, Snake, win!
Snake, you can't defeat me with a weapon like that. Good. Now we can fight as warriors. Hand to hand. It is the basis of all combat. Only a fool trusts his life to a weapon. me now.
Can't be. You were killed in Zanzibar. What? Not again. What's happening?
I'm losing myself.
Is it over?
Gray Fox. Colonel, that ninja is Gray Fox. No doubt about it.
Ridiculous. You of all people should know he died in Zanzibar.
No. He should have died, but he didn't.
What?
It happened before I joined FOXHOUND's medical staff. They were using a soldier for their gene therapy experiments.
I never heard that.
It happened right after you retired. My predecessor, Dr. Clark, was in charge.
Dr. Clark.
Yes, he started the gene therapy project.
And where is he now?
He was killed in an explosion in his lab 2 years ago.
So what about this soldier?
Apparently, for their test subject, they decided to use the body of a soldier who was recovered after the fall of Zanzibar.
And that was Gray Fox.
But he was already dead.
Yes, but they revived him. They fitted him with a prototype exoskeleton and kept him drugged for 4 years while they experimented on him like a plaything. Today's genome soldiers were born from those experiments.
That's the sickest thing I ever heard.
They used him to test all sorts of gene therapy techniques.
Naomi, why didn't you tell us about this sooner?
Because it's confidential information.
Is that the only reason?
Naomi, what happened to Gray Fox after that?
The record says he died in the explosion.
I see. But even if that ninja is Gray Fox, the question is, why?
From what I could tell, he didn't know who he was.
Are you saying that he's just a mindless robot?
I'm not sure, but he seems intent on fighting me to the death. We'll meet again. I know it.
So you'll fight again? Until you kill him?
Huh. I'd rather not. But maybe that's what he wants. How long are you gonna stay in there?
Huh? Are you one of them?
No, I'm not. I always work alone.
Alone? Are you an otaku too?
Come on, get out. We can't stay here forever.
Your uniform is different than theirs.
You're the Metal Gear Chief Engineer, Hal Emmerich, right?
You know me?
I heard about you from Meryl.
Oh, so you're here to rescue me?
Sorry, but no. There's something that I've got to do first.
Oh, well, at least you're not one of them.
Huh. Are you hurt?
I'm okay. I just twisted my ankle a little bit trying to get away.
Well, if that's all, it's nothing to worry about. I want to ask you something. I need information about Metal Gear.
Huh? Metal Gear?
Yeah. What's Metal Gear really designed for?
It's a mobile TMD. It's designed to shoot down nuclear missiles. Only for defensive purposes, of course.
Fire! I already know that Metal Gear is nothing but a nuclear-equipped walking deathmobile.
Nuclear? What are you talking about?
The terrorists are planning to use Metal Gear to launch a nuclear missile. You telling me you didn't know?
They're gonna put a dismantled warhead into Metal Gear's TMD missile module?
Wrong. From the beginning, the purpose of this exercise was to test Metal Gear's nuclear launch capability using a dummy nuclear warhead. The terrorists are just continuing the work you started.
No, you're wrong.
I heard it directly from your boss, Baker.
No. A nuclear missile on Rex?
So you really didn't know?
No. All the armament was built by a separate department, and the President personally supervised the final assembly of the main unit.
President Baker?
Yeah. I was never told exactly what they armed Rex with. I only know it's equipped with a Vulcan cannon, a laser, and a railgun.
A railgun, you said?
Yeah. It uses magnets to fire bullets at extremely high velocities. The technology was originally developed for the SDI system and later scrapped. We were successful in miniaturizing it in a joint venture between ArmsTech and Rivermore National Labs. The railgun is on Rex's right arm.
Metal Gear's main function is to launch nuclear missiles. You sure you're not forgetting something?
It's true that Metal Gear has a missile module on his back that can carry up to 8 missiles, but are you saying it was originally meant to carry nuclear missiles?
Yeah, but that's not all I think. If Metal Gear fired only standard nuclear missiles, then they should already have all the practical data they need.
No. Could it be? Metal Gear's co-developer, Rivermore National Labs, was working on a new type of nuclear weapon. They were using NOVA and NIF laser nuclear fusion testing equipment and supercomputers.
So they developed a new type of nuclear weapon in a VR testing lab, huh?
Yes, but you can't use virtual data on a battlefield. They would need actual launch data. These are some of the supercomputers. If you link these, you can test everything in a virtual environment. But it's all just theoretical.
So this exercise was designed to test the real thing.
What did our president do? If the terrorists launched that thing... Damn! Damn! I'm such a fool. It's all my fault. The truth is, my grandfather was part of the Manhattan Project. He suffered with the guilt for the rest of his life. And my father, he was born on August 6th, 1945.
The day of the Hiroshima bomb. God's got a sense of humor, all right.
3 generations of Emmerich men. We must have the curse of nuclear weapons written into our DNA. I used to think that I could use science to help mankind, but the one that wound up getting used was me. Using science to help mankind, it's just in the movies.
That's enough crying. Pull yourself together. Where is Metal Gear? Where on this base are they keeping it?
Rex is in the underground maintenance base.
Where's that?
North of the communications tower, but it's a long way there.
The emergency override system for the detonation code is there too?
Yeah, in the maintenance base control room. You'd better hurry. If they were planning a launch from the start, then their ballistic program is probably finished. And since they haven't called for me in a few hours, they must not need me. In other words, they must be ready to launch.
Meryl's got the detonation code override keys. We'll link up with her.
If we can't override the launch, we'll have to destroy Rex. I'll show you the way.
On that leg of yours, you'll just slow me down.
You'll need me if you're gonna destroy Rex.
I don't need you. I just need your brain.
I created Rex. It's my right, my duty to destroy him.
If you get a chance, try to escape. When the coast is clear, I'll contact you by codec.
How am I supposed to escape from an island?
Okay.
So what then?
I want you to hide somewhere and keep me informed. You know this place well, don't you?
Of course I do. And don't worry, I've got this. It's the same stealth technology as the Ninja. FOXHOUND was gonna use them, but with this I'll be fine. Bad leg and all.
Good. But I want Meryl to watch after you too. Meryl, the engineer's okay.
That's a relief.
I want you to look after him. Where are you now?
Very close.
There she is! Over there!
Oh no! Damn, they've spotted me.
Meryl, what happened? Something's wrong.
Did you hear something? Wasn't that some kind of music?
What did she look like?
She was wearing the same green uniform as the terrorists.
A disguise?
She had such a cute way of walking. She kind of wiggles her behind.
You were really looking.
Well, she's got a very cute behind.
Way of walking, huh?
If she's disguised as the enemy, you'll have to contact her when she's alone, huh? There's only one place where we can be sure she's by herself.
Where's that?
Don't be so dense. Here, use this security card. It's security level 4.
You're not in pain, are you?
Huh?
You feel okay? Nothing bothering you?
What's wrong? Getting all friendly all of a sudden.
No, nothing. I'm glad you're okay.
You're strange.
I'm a little nervous. Everyone else I've saved suddenly dies.
You're bad luck.
Forget it, Doctor.
Call me Otacon.
Otacon?
It stands for Otaku Convention. And Otaku's a guy like me who likes Japanimation. Japan was the first country to successfully make bipedal robots. They're still the best in the field of robotics.
And Japanese cartoons played some part in that?
They did. I didn't get into science to make nuclear weapons, you know.
That's what all scientists say.
I became a scientist because I wanted to make robots like the ones in the Japanese animes. Really, it's true.
Just sounds like a childish excuse to me.
You're right. We have to take responsibility. Science has always thrived on war. Greatest weapons of mass destruction were created by scientists who wanted to be famous. But that's all over now. I won't take part in murder anymore.
Whatever. All I want from you is information.
Sure. I know everything about this whole base. Ask me anything about Rex or about this place. Also, with this stealth camouflage, I can sneak in and out of the armory and mess hall. If you need ammo or rations, just tell me and I'll bring them to you. I'm on frequency 141.12. See you later.
Well, it looks like you've rescued Emmerich for the time being.
Yeah, with that stealth camouflage, he should be able to hide safely. Gray Fox. I can't believe it. But the real problem is your niece. The way the codec got cut off like that has me worried. Something must have happened to her.
You're worried about Meryl?
Not exactly. It's just that she's holding the detonation code override keys. They're our last chance of stopping that nuclear launch.
You're a cold man. Your mission is more important than the life of your companions?
This is war. Survival is the name of the game. Sometimes you have to be cold to survive.
Yes, but
Snake, either way, I want you to find Meryl as soon as possible.
I understand.
Didn't Meryl say that she's somewhere close by? Why don't you start by searching in that building?
People who have been through war and survived develop a kind of sixth sense to warn them of danger. Trust your instincts as a soldier, as a gamer.
still haven't found Meryl? Snake, the warhead storage building that you're in has 1 floor above ground and 2 floors below ground. Why don't you search there too? Snake, the warhead storage building that you're in has 1 floor above ground and 2 floors below ground.
Otacon said that now it's possible to design and test new types of nuclear weapons in a virtual simulation without ever exploding a nuclear device. Is that true?
Yes, it is true. Since the establishment of DART and NEEF early in the 21st century, there has been a wealth of data concerning nuclear fission and fusion. There is also much data accumulated from the nuclear tests conducted over the last 4 decades. With the processing speed of today's supercomputers, they can design a new nuclear weapon through virtual reality computer simulations. In order to collect data for the simulation experiments, they are doing subcritical tests underground. Those are experiments in which they detonate high explosives in proximity to plutonium without setting off a critical chain reaction. They then measure the effect that the shockwave has on the plutonium. By measuring the particles which fly off the surface of the plutonium, they can learn the mass, speed, and distribution of the plutonium particles. The politicians insist that whether it is above ground or below ground, a nuclear test which does not cause a nuclear explosion is not a nuclear test, and therefore does not violate the CTBT. A lot of people do not agree with that interpretation. The first subcritical test was performed on July 2nd, 1997 at the Nevada Nuclear Testing Facility. After that, subcritical testing became extremely common, not only in America, but in Russia countries too. They say that the reason for the tests is to ensure the safety and reliability of the existing nuclear stockpile, but that is nothing more than a flimsy cover story. In reality, the danger of a nuclear weapon exploding accidentally decreases over time. It is clear that the real reason for these tests is to aid in the development of new types of nuclear weapons. Even the government admits that the data collected from those tests is used in virtual reality simulation tests. That is amazing. Dr. Emmerich's father participated in the Manhattan Project? That was the secret World War II project responsible for the creation of the first atomic bomb. It had a huge budget, something like $2 billion. They brought in 120,000 of the best and brightest scientists and engineers to work on it. And we all know how that story ended. In July of 1945, they exploded the first nuclear device at Trinity, followed shortly after by Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Trinity. The world was changed forever that day. Scientists and researchers could no longer pretend that their hands were clean of blood. Afterwards, the leader of the Manhattan Project, J. Robert Oppenheimer, said, "The physicists have known sin, and this is a knowledge which they cannot lose." When Dr. Emmerich designed a new Metal Gear prototype, he thought he was creating a mobile TMD system. He is a very naive man. TMD stands for Theater Missile Defense. They represent a shift in defense priorities from dealing with the threat of ICBMs from the former Soviet Union to dealing with small-scale regional conflicts in the Third World. Current TMD systems work by a combination of THAADs, Theater High Altitude Air Defense, which intercept missiles outside of the atmosphere, and Patriot-type missiles, which intercept missiles within the atmosphere. Dr. Emmerich was planning on them using Metal Gear as a low-atmosphere, mobile missile interceptor unit. There are many in Russia, as well as America, who are opposed to TMD systems because they say that it undermines the spirit of the ABM, the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty. And there are also those who say that the ABM Treaty is a dinosaur left over from the Cold War. They argue that the strategy of MAD should be maintained by limiting missile defense systems. There was a big debate over it, but ultimately, under pressure from the defense industry, who is looking to expand into new markets, TMD systems were accepted as an integral part of a modern military arsenal. They say that there are 500,000 nuclear engineers in the world. But after the end of the Cold War, the demand for nuclear engineers dropped precipitously.
Snake, there's an old Chinese saying, a scholar who cherishes the love of comfort is not fit to be deemed a scholar. Einstein said it another way. He said that only a life lived for others is worth living. That's why I entered MIT instead of Princeton or Vassar like my friends. I wanted to do applied physics, not just theoretical stuff. I wanted to make things for people. The Soliton radar system or the Codex system. I just wanted to make something that would be useful for people. I think that it was the same for Dr. Emmerich too. But he was used like a tool, used to make a horrible killing machine. Maybe it would be better if engineers like us just stopped making things. I don't know.
Those are night vision goggles. They do not use special lenses. They electronically amplify the light by transforming it into electric signals, which they then boost to create an image. They amplify the light 100,000 times. You will be able to see 500 meters by starlight, just as if it was day. But it won't work in complete darkness since there is no light to amplify. Those night vision goggles will make your eyes hurt after a while. Do not use them for too long a period of time.
Don't move. That's the second time I've been able to sneak up on the legendary Solid Snake.
You're Meryl? There's no way you could pass for a man for long.
What do you mean? Hey, men aren't allowed in here.
I had no idea you were so feminine.
This is no time to try and hit on me, Snake. Besides, it's a waste of time. When I joined up, they gave me psychotherapy to destroy my interest in men.
Same smart mouth. You're Meryl, all right. Are you hurt?
Not yet. After all, I was disguised as a genome soldier.
So why'd you change? You'd be a lot better off dressed like one of them.
I got tired of disguising myself. The truth is, the uniform smelled like blood.
What's that mark?
Huh? Oh, this? It's a paint tattoo. It's not real. I was a fan of FOXHOUND way back, when guys like you and my uncle were in it. None of that gene therapy like there is today. You guys were real heroes.
There are no heroes in war. All the heroes I know are either dead or in prison. One or the other.
But Snake, you're a hero, aren't you?
I'm just a man who's good at what he does. Killing. There's no winning or losing for a mercenary. The only winners in war are the people.
That's right, and you fight for the people.
I've never fought for anyone but myself. I've got no purpose in life, no ultimate goal.
Come on.
It's only when I'm cheating death on the battlefield. The only time I feel truly alive.
Seeing other people die makes you feel alive, huh? You love war and don't want it to stop? Is it the same with all great soldiers throughout history?
Why didn't you contact me?
My codec was broken.
Is that all?
Shouldn't you just be happy we met up like this? How did you recognize me in disguise?
I never forget a lady.
So there's something you like about me, huh?
Yeah, you've got a great butt.
Oh, I see. First it's my eyes, now it's my butt. What's next?
On the battlefield, you never think about what's next.
So Snake, how are the negotiations going?
No progress.
So it's all up to you, huh?
Somebody's got to stop them from launching a nuclear missile.
There are two ways. Either we destroy Metal Gear, or...
we override the detonation code. You got the card keys from Baker?
Card keys? You mean this?
Where are the others? There should be 3 keys.
This is all I've got.
Where could the other 2 be?
I have no idea, but they must be somewhere. If we can't find them, we'll have no choice but to destroy Metal Gear.
Metal Gear is in an underground maintenance base to the north.
Take me too. I know this place better than you do.
You'll just slow me down. You don't have enough battle experience.
I won't slow you down, I promise.
And what if you do?
Then you can shoot me.
I don't like to waste bullets.
Got it. I'll be careful. You know, I don't use makeup the way other women do. I hardly ever look at myself in the mirror. I've always despised that kind of woman. I always dreamed of becoming a soldier. But I was wrong. It wasn't really my dream. My father, he was killed in action when I was younger.
You wanted to follow in your father's footsteps?
Not really. I thought that if I became a soldier, I could understand him better.
So are you a soldier yet?
I thought I was until today, but now I understand. The truth is, I was just afraid of looking at myself, afraid of having to make my own decisions in life. But I'm not gonna lie to myself anymore. It's time I took a long, hard look at myself. I want to know who I am, what I'm capable of. I want to know why I've lived the way I've lived until now. I want to know.
Take a good look. You won't get another chance for a while. You should wash your face, too, while you're at it.
Yeah.
This isn't a training exercise. Our lives are riding on this. There are no heroes or heroines. If you lose, you're worm food.
Yeah.
Is that FOMS functional?
Unfortunately, it's out of ammo.
Where'd you get that Desert Eagle?
I found it in the armory. It's a .50 caliber Action Express. There was a SOCOM pistol too, but I chose this.
Huh, so I got a leftover, huh? Isn't that gun a little big for a girl?
Don't worry, I can handle it.
Come on, use my .45.
Listen, I've used a gun like this since I was 8 years old. I'm more comfortable with it than I am with a bra. If we're gonna go to the north, we'll have to go through the commander's room on this floor. The overland route is blocked by glaciers. The door to the commander's room is security level 5. This card will open it. It was inside the pocket of the uniform I was wearing.
Looks like he must have been guarding someplace important.
Okay, let's go. I know this place better than you. I'll be point man. Follow me.
Colonel, your niece is fine.
Thank goodness.
We can't relax. Not yet.
I know. Snake,
She's quite a woman.
as commander of this operation, I can't ask you to watch after Meryl, but
Duty first?
maybe I was wrong. Sending my own flesh and blood to war.
She understands about duty.
I know she does.
But what I want to know is, what was the real purpose of this military exercise?
I don't know. Like I said, I'm nothing more than a middleman.
Is this transmission being monitored by the military?
Of course.
I get it. All the world's a stage and we're merely players, right?
Yes, but even players can influence the play.
I just hope we can prevent it from having a bad ending.
Snake, go with Meryl to the underground base where they're keeping Metal Gear. Snake, go with Meryl to the...
You managed to link up with Meryl. Good. So now, you must have the card keys that will override the detonation code. You should hurry. The time limit is running out. When you're trying to hide, avoid places that look like the enemy might search. Think about how your enemy is going to move, and then sneak in there. It doesn't matter how smart you are. Just use your head out there.
Thank God Meryl's okay. She's a tough one, all right. Although when you look at her, it's hard to imagine how tough.
It must be the walk.
Anyway, I'm glad she's okay.
I also got a key from her. I think I can use it to stop them from launching a nuke.
Get to Metal Gear's underground maintenance base. That's where the detonation code input system is. Get to Metal Gear's underground maintenance base.
You found Meryl. Хорошо. The first subcritical test was performed on July 2nd, 1997 at the Nevada Nuclear Testing Facility. After that, subcritical testing became extremely common, not only in America, but in Russia countries too. They say that the reason for the tests is to ensure the safety and reliability of the existing nuclear stockpile, but that is nothing more than a flimsy cover story. In reality, the danger of a nuclear weapon exploding accidentally decreases over time. It is clear that the real reason for these tests is to aid in the development of new types of nuclear weapons. Even the government admits that the data collected from those tests is used in virtual reality simulation tests. The theory of nuclear deterrence was born during the Cold War.
It's a good thing you hooked up with Meryl. You should have seen the Colonel. He doesn't like to let it show because he's the boss, but he was so happy he could barely contain himself.
I'm glad to hear that.
Talk to you later, Snake.
That That's strange. There's no guard.
What happened to the music?
I'll keep a lookout. Make sure you're ready, okay? My head! Oh, it hurts!
What's wrong?
Don't come here, Snake!
Are you okay? What happened?
I'm fine. Okay. Let's go. Come on, Mr. Foxhound. The commander is waiting.
Colonel, Meryl's acting kind of strange.
Maybe she's just feeling a little tired from all the stress.
Snake, do you hear something that sounds like a song?
Yeah, I do. I started hearing it a little way back. What could it be?
Hurry ahead, Snake. The underground base is to the north, isn't it?
It's never a good idea to fight on too full a stomach. It'll make you logy, maybe even sleepy. You should wait 30 minutes after eating before you play.
Get to Metal Gear's underground maintenance base. That's where the detonation code input system is.
Meryl is acting kind of strange.
It could be the stress of battle. I have a friend who had Chechen syndrome. He became depressed 6 months after returning from Chechnya and took his own life. He was forced to fight people who spoke his own language, people with his own culture. He couldn't live with the guilt of it.
It sounds like PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. A lot of veterans returning from Vietnam suffered from that. In fact, many still do.
Yes, it is also similar to the Afghan syndrome. In Meryl's case, it is probably a much more short-term condition. Try to cheer her up. She'll come out of it. Try to cheer her up. She'll come out of it.
What is it, Snake?
Mei Ling, how did you get into this line of work?
The truth is, I always wanted to become a fighter pilot. I fell in love with jets watching them in the movies.
You'd be surprised how many people say the same thing.
But I didn't want to kill people. That's when I heard that the US Air Force needed people to do BDAs, battle damage assessments.
And those are the guys whose job it is to confirm how successful a bombing run was.
Yeah, so I started to do research into aerial photography and air intelligence. I made it my major.
But there are no pilots who only do BDAs.
That's right. But by the time I learned that, I was already an expert in my field.
Snake, how do you like me?
What the?
Do you like me? Hold me, Snake.
What's wrong?
Oh, hurry, hurry. Make love to me. Oh, Snake, I want you.
Who's that?
Oh, you don't like girls?
Snake, Meryl's not herself. Don't use your weapon.
It's
Psycho Mantis. He's controlling Meryl. That tune is his mind control music.
Don't use your weapon. Try to knock her out.
Useless woman.
Optic camouflage, huh? I hope that's not your only trick.
You doubt my power? Now, I will show you why I am the most powerful practitioner of psychokinesis and telepathy in the world. No, there's no need for words, Snake. I'm Psycho Mantis. That's right. This is no trick. It's true power. It's useless, I told you. I can read your every thought. Now, let me read your mind. No, perhaps I should say your past. You are a very methodical man. The type that always kicks his tires before he leaves. You are a highly skilled warrior, well suited to this stealth mission. You are extremely careful of traps. You are either very cautious, or you are a coward. Still don't believe me? Now I'll read more deeply into your soul. Your memory is completely clean. You have saved often. You are a prudent person. I can read you like an open book. You still don't believe me? I will show you my psychokinetic power. Put your controller on the floor. Put it down as flat as you can. That's good. Now I will move your controller by the power of my will alone. What do you think now? Can you feel my power now? The demonstration is over.
Psycho Mantis, former KGB psychic. He has powerful telepathic abilities. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, he came to America looking for a job. He worked with the FBI on several cases as a psychic profiler. 5 years ago, he was working on the case of a multiple serial murderer, and he got too far into the killer's mind. As a result, he became just like the killer.
So he was sort of infected by this serial murderer's thoughts?
In any case, after that he became a sort of psychic spy working for the highest bidder. He traveled all around the world. That's when he was recruited by FOXHOUND. He can read people's minds. He knows every move that you're going to make.
What should I do? I've got no chance of beating him.
There must be some way.
He's a master at controlling people, Snake. Don't let him manipulate you. Not everything you see with your 2 eyes is real. Destroying his spirit is more important than destroying his body.
Don't let him read you. Be a blank slate, okay? Clear your mind. He read your mind with his psychic abilities. Somehow you've got to get around him. He's using his psychic ability to read your controller's moves. That's how he's evading your attack. You've got to do something so he can't read your controller's moves. Think. There must be some way. I've got it. Use the controller port. Plug your controller into controller port 2. If you do that, he won't be able to read your mind.
It's true. Your enemy is a powerful telepath. But you've got more battle experience. You can do it, Snake. It's true.
Stealth camouflage works by bending the light around the user in such a way that they're rendered nearly invisible. But if you had thermal goggles, you'd be able to see him. Stealth camouflage works...
A psychic soldier, yes. Although they will not admit it, many countries have paranormal programs and use psychics in their special ops. Psychics range in power from those who can bend spoons to those who can cause natural disasters. But Psycho Mantis is one of the most powerful. Be careful. But Psycho Mantis is one of the most powerful. Be careful.
Snake? Don't die, Snake.
Come on, Mr. Foxhound. The commander is waiting.
Now, let me read your mind. No, perhaps I should say your past. You are a very methodical man, the type that always kicks his tires before he leaves. You are a highly skilled warrior, well suited to this stealth mission. You are extremely careful of traps. You are either very cautious, or you are a coward. Still don't believe me? Now I'll read more deeply into your soul. Your memory is completely clean. You have saved often. You are a prudent person. I can read you like an open book. You still don't believe me? I will show you my psychokinetic power. Put your controller on the floor. Put it down as flat as you can. That's good. Now I will move your controller by the power of my will alone. What do you think now? Can you feel my power now? A demonstration. Why couldn't I read your mind? It's you. You are powerful indeed, but I know your weak point. Meryl, stand right where he can see you and blow your brains out. Ah!
Stop! Meryl!
No! It cannot be! No!
Colonel, your niece is going to be okay.
Thanks, Snake. I owe you one.
Now that Mantis is beaten, Meryl's brainwashing should wear off, right, Naomi?
Yes. But why did you go so far out of your way to save her? For Campbell's sake, or maybe it's because you like her?
I don't want to see any woman die right in front of me.
Oh, really? Since when did anybody's death bother you so much?
Naomi, it's true that Snake has killed a lot of people, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have a heart.
It's okay, Colonel. She's right.
So, you used the other controller. I wasn't able to read the future.
A strong man doesn't need to read the future. He makes his own.
Perhaps so, but I will read your future. To get to Metal Gear's underground maintenance base, you have to go through that hidden door. There's a hidden door behind the bookcase. The overland route. It's blocked by frozen glaciers. Go past the communication towers. And use the tower's walkway.
Why are you telling me this?
I can read people's minds. In my lifetime, I have read the pasts, presents, and futures of thousands upon thousands of men and women.
Oh, gross.
And each mind that I peered into was stuffed with the same single object of obsession. That selfish and atavistic desire to pass on one's seed. It was enough to make me sick. Every living thing on this planet exists to mindlessly pass on their DNA. We're designed that way. And that's why there is war. But you are different. You're the same as us. We have no past, no future. We live in the moment. That's our only purpose. Humans weren't designed to bring each other happiness. From the moment we're thrown into this world, we're fated to bring each other nothing but pain and misery. The first person whose mind I dove into was my father's. I saw nothing but disgust and hatred for me in his heart. My mother died in childbirth, and he despised me for it. I thought my father was going to kill me. That's when my future disappeared. I lost my past as well. When I came to, the village was engulfed in flames.
Are you saying that you burned your village down to bury your past?
I see that you have suffered the same trauma. We are truly the same, you and I. The world is a more interesting place with people like you in it. I never agreed with the boss's revolution. His dreams of world conquest do not interest me. I just wanted an excuse to kill as many people as I could.
You monster.
Let him talk. He doesn't have much time left.
I've seen through evil. You, Snake, you're just like the boss. No, you're worse. Compared to you, I'm not so bad. I read her mind as well.
Meryl's?
I saw you there. You have a large place in her heart.
A large place?
Yes, a large place. But I do not know if your futures lie together. I have a last request.
What is it?
My mask. Put it back on.
Okay.
Like this.
Other people's thoughts force their way into my mind. Before I die, I want to be by myself. I want to be left alone in my own world.
I'll open the door for you. If you want to find your future, go through that door. This is the first time I've ever used my power to help someone. It's strange. It feels kind of nice.
Let's go, Meryl.
I'm sorry.
Meryl?
How could I let Mantis control my mind like that?
If you're gonna doubt yourself, I'll leave you here.
You're right.
Never doubt yourself. Just let it make you stronger. Learn something from it.
You're right. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Snake, can I ask you something?
What?
About what Mantis said. I was just wondering.
What? What's the problem now?
Oh, no, nothing. So, tell me, Snake. What's your name? Your real name?
A name means nothing on the battlefield.
How old are you?
Old enough to know what death looks like.
Any family?
No, but I was raised by many people.
Is there anyone you like?
I've never been interested in anyone else's life.
So you are all alone. Just like Mantis said.
Other people just complicate my life. I don't like to get involved.
You're a sad, lonely man.
Come on, let's go.
The tongues of dying men enforce attention, like deep harmony. Snake, people don't normally lie with their dying breath. I think he was telling the truth. Maybe you should believe him. Please, Snake, don't give up.